Hello everybody. I'm here. I'm sorry I'm streaming on a Sunday night. I ended up postponing this stream and the Nosferatu stream because I got distracted in a lot of things. But do not worry, the Nosferatu stream is still gonna be done, and also I'm gonna be streaming some Blasphemous during the week. So I hope you guys will like. I don't know if you guys might wanna watch that me playing Blasphemous, but I'm gonna be streaming it because I bought the game. He was on sale on Steam, so I just took the opportunity to buy it. There's also Blue Archive, which I also installed because it came out on Steam. But anyways, I started playing Blue Archive. I don't know. Thus far it's pretty good, but I think I now understand where the Marvel Mayhem inspiration came from. Like Marvel Mayhem plays a lot like Blue Archive, and Blue Archives came before that. So you get what I mean. Both games are pretty good. I'm planning on streaming Blue Archive. Although I already unlocked a bunch of characters in there. I'm gonna stream some Crusader Kings, of course. Blasphemous, obviously, I'm gonna stream it. Obviously, guys, obviously. Uh, but yeah, we're gonna do some video reacting, to different stuff. So let me put this here. There we go. Anyways, I just saw that Tom and Don just uploaded a video from Space King. So we're gonna react to this real quick. Or not. Someone's playing this. I already watched this. Oh wait. Wait, you can't be serious. They're making a Rooster Fighter anime? Oh yeah, I remember they announced it. The trailer came yesterday? Mm. Also, this is gonna be a very short stream because it's pretty damn late already. It's 11:09 p.m. over here. So, yeah, it's gonna be a very short stream. Mm, let's watch. Let's watch Emirichu's video. I haven't watched it because I was planning on video reacting to it. Or The Myth of the Nameless Hero from Tale Foundry. Also, before we start with the reactions, I just wanted to give you guys an update on the Pathfinder story. On the Pathfinder game I'm playing in. Uh, it's my barbarian just died, and now I'm playing as an Anadi. And not only my barbarian character, but yesterday's game, we were fighting we were fighting the big bad guy because he appeared out of nowhere on on a portal that I appeared in, and basically one of the two kobolds that are on our party, the bard, got her soul on a gem. So she's basically trapped. We can still save her, but we must actually try and do what we can to bring her back. And the other one, the Oracle, he sacrificed himself to keep the big bad still away from us. And to be honest, that's damn, that was sad. That was a very sad. Basically, the entire fucking fight, this last fight that we were playing against, a bunch of gargoyles, mimics, all that. No, they were doppelgangers, I think. Uh, Man, we were fucked. It turned into a Game of Thrones episodes where all your favorite characters just died, just like that. But yeah, that's how our campaign is going right now. I am playing an Anadi, and yeah, that's pretty much how it's going. I'm not playing another character. Wish me luck with that one character. He's gonna be very hard to play as because he's a magus. Yes. Let's react to the myth of the nameless hero by Tail Foundry. Oh my god. Ads. I hate ads.
I think it's interesting.
Okay, this is the myth of the nameless hero by Tail Foundry. Let me give him a like because I like his videos. Yeah, let's go.
Interesting how seriously humans take fictional characters. I mean, I know you know they're not real, but you do still seem to think of them that way.
Yeah,
You tend to treat them like people. I've seen so many internet
you
arguments.
get attached to the characters like quite a lot, especially to nameless heroes because you kind of see yourself in them. I think, but I think that depends on the character.
About what a character would really do, what they would say, what they would think, how they would react to any given situation. I've seen people trying to decide whether you're a good or bad person.
It may be a red flag if a guy is a super fan of any of these 20 movies and TV. This is a very shitty fucking headline. Whoever wrote this article, I see you, Angela Andaloro. Oh, it's of course it's BuzzFeed. I fucking hate BuzzFeed. I hate BuzzFeed.
For relating to a character, someone who does not even exist. I'm not even going to talk about shipping and all the wars people have fought over that.
We do not talk about shipping wars. They are annoying. They are stupid. But they're fun to watch every now and then. But yeah, let's not get into that.
I guess it's not surprising. I mean, you write them this way on purpose. A good character, I've read over and over again, is a character you believe. When you feel as though you could actually meet out in the world. When you could
Yep.
judge. A good character is a real, fleshed out person.
Yes. 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 A real character is a fleshed out person that you can relate to or that you can hate. It depends on how they're written. But the best way to write a character is to write them as if they were a real person. Like, you know, so you can relate or hate the character.
The problem is, I also know so many that aren't. There's a whole category of characters that are so far from.
Oh, there's the self-insert, there's the nameless hero, which he's gonna be talking about here. There are the overly evil characters, you know, those ones. And there are the freaking overpowered that are just stupid. Like, I cannot relate to. I don't like Meliodas as an example because he's written like a Gary Stu. He's badly written. He's stupid, and I don't like Meliodas at all.
Personhood, they aren't even given names. Popular characters, well loved ones. The man with no name from the Dollars trilogy is pretty much synonymous with the word cowboy. The Doctor from Doctor Who is too big to be reduced to a mere person.
Yep.
The G-Man from Half-Life. Most of the cast of
Oh, the G Man. Talking about the G Man. I started playing Half-Life 1. Yeah, off stream, of course. Sadly, I'm gonna be playing it off stream, but I've started playing Half-Life. I kind of fucked up at the beginning. Yeah, hold on. Can you guys hear the stream? Let me turn up the volume real quick, and I'm gonna click on the video.
Jeff Vandermeer's Annihilation, almost every character in Cormac McCarthy's The Road.
I have not read the road. I do not know about the road.
I don't think this is an accident. These aren't just extras for something. These are characters.
Okay, let me pause it real quick. I'm looking at my TV screen. Oh yeah, you guys can hear it. I just lowered the volume. I think I should like turn up the volume a little bit. Let me. Let's see.
built this way on purpose.
On purpose.
So, the question is, if characters are supposed to be people, why would any author ever choose to do this? Why deny?
Probably to have like add mystery to the character. Like the G-Man, you do not know what his deal is. You do not know what he wants. At least that's from what I understand. Some nameless characters are just there to create intrigue and mystery. Also, add a little bit of horror into it. Why not? Like, come on, man. They're nameless characters. Make them as mysterious as possible, or make them as relatable, or make them the reader project themselves into them if it's in a game. So the immersion is right there. Like, if you play a game like Zelda, Link is basically a nameless character that you can like give him any sort of name that you want, even your own name. That's for you to like connect to the character and for you to immerse yourself in the game. That's the reason. That's basically how you have a player immerse themselves in an adventure like The Legend of Zelda, Undertale. Also, what other example? Mm, what other game lets you? Oh, Dark Souls also, because basically the chosen undead is a nameless character that you add your own name on him or whatever name you want. It adds on the immersion. And if it's another character, it can add a layer of mystery and intrigue to that character, and horror if they are some sort of psychopath or something. It's pretty interesting.
Your character the most basic element of personhood, a name.
I fucking love his fucking intros. Let me check if there's an ad so we can skip it. I don't want to skip his ads, but yeah. Oh, he mentions okay, let's not do that. Let's not spoil ourselves. Sorry guys. I'm tired. I'm tired, man, but I'm doing the stream anyways.
Victor Frankenstein has lost a great deal to the thing that he created. His best friend, his wife, his brother. In the end, the monster even took his very name.
Oh, Frankenstein's monster. Yeah. Again, it adds to the mystery and to the horror. Like I said. Like I said.
When you think Frankenstein, I bet anything that what comes to your mind is green skin and stapled flesh. After all, it's the monster at the center of the novel's drama, not Victor. Boris Karloff's portrayal of the creature became the entire face
That looks so sick.
of the story. The monster looms so large over the legacy of Frankenstein that, if they don't know any better, people
get some
assume that the
water.
novel must be named after him. Centuries after the book's publication, he's all but absorbed his creator's name.
Is Frankenstein is Frankenstein 1931 public domain. Ah, fuck. Oh, January 1st, 2027. I have to wait 2 years to like make a reaction stream to this movie. Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Which is sort of ironic, because in the original story, Frankenstein's monster is actually denied a name. He's just the monster, a fact central to
That's sad. That's actually very sad.
the themes of the entire work. Of course, the characters in the story do call him other things. Things like creature, beast, ogre. But nobody, not even his creator, especially not his
They
creator,
never gave him a
even
name.
thinks about granting him a human name. He is, in effect, denied an identity. It is this precise injustice.
Damn. Okay, that's another way to like create a nameless character. That's sad. Like when you think of it, Frankenstein monster is a very sad character. Like you do not excuse the shit he does, of course, but damn.
Justice and the ensuing loneliness and displacement that eventually turns him into the violent, vengeful wraith we know today. When at last he finally confronts Victor, he laments.
He's had many different iterations though. Like we've had the Creature Commandos Frankenstein from DC. We have the original movie Frankenstein. We have another Frankenstein monster that I forgot the name, uh, the movie. But there are so many Frankenstein movies. There's also the Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein movie that's coming out. Uh, Wait, did that movie already release? Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro. When is it releasing? When is it releasing? When is it releasing? We gotta wait till November to watch it. All right, I'll wait till November then. Oh, talking about movies that I watched. Last week I went to the cinema with a friend that came back from New Jersey. Yeah, you know the friend that I've streamed before, Arc. I've streamed with him, Arc, before. Um, mm, he came here to Puerto Rico. We went to watch a movie. That movie was so good. That movie was so good, but the ending got me like, what the fuck was that Power Ranger ass looking motherfucker? You guys know what movie I'm talking about if you watched it. It's the 28 Years Later. It's such a good movie. I loved the entire story with the with Spike and his mother. It's really gut wrenching, and I actually cried during the movie. That was sad. That was a fucking sad. I'm not gonna make any spoilers, but it was sad. It was extremely sad. It's a zombie movie though, so I don't think it's gonna be for everyone. I mean, it's obviously not for everyone. Even the fact that it's an European movie, which has a lot of stuff in it. You're It's a good movie. I recommend it. I wholeheartedly recommend you to watch it. Just have in mind that the ending is really what the fuck. But I think it adds to the absurdity to the world because there were other two movies before it and they had some absurd elements to them as well. Mhm. The first movie was very low budget, and I think they are trying to like keep that essence, you know. Mhm. But damn, that ending was very was ex- the first thought that came to my mind was Power Rangers. Everyone said they looked like Power Rangers after the movie ended. It was so stupid. Like, damn, me, my friend, and his girlfriend. We were both like, what the fuck was that ending? That ending was so fucked up. Yeah. I'm sorry I'm like talking a lot of bullshit. Not reacting properly to the video, but I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get back to the video.
I ought to have been thy Adam. He's not just outraged by the fact that he spent his short life alone, abandoned, and unloved. He's plagued by the fact that he's so deprived of empathy, he hasn't even been given an identity, a name. Naming
Man, the the Frankenstein story is so philosophical. It's so good.
things is a way of
The Frankenstein story is so good.
of personifying them. That's why you give
I
it.
probably must read it. I need to read it. I have a. Oh, there it is. I have a. I'm probably gonna take a photo of it. I have. Okay. This I have a graphic novel that was adapted by Sergio A. Sierra and illustrated by Merixel Rivas. Um, this is an adaptation of the original novel. It looks like it's a very short graphic novel. But since I have it here, I'm gonna read it and experience the story. It's in Spanish, so I'm not gonna read it on stream. But it's pretty good. I like the art style. I'm gonna read it. Also, this was given to me by my mother, so she gave it to me because she realized I read a lot. So yeah, it's pretty good. I think I'm gonna read it. It looks like a good read. Mm.
Names to your pets and not your livestock. It's why you give names to inanimate objects that you feel are particularly important. Buildings, ships, countries. It tells you something about Victor that he didn't even extend that level of importance to his creation. It tells you that, for him, creating life was no benevolent act. There was no empathy in it.
He was playing God. That's what he was doing. Victor Frankenstein must be one of the biggest douches in horror fiction. He's one of the biggest pieces of shit. Like, how the fuck do you create life and then not give that life you created a name? How do you neglect it so bad? I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, I cannot empathize with Victor. He's very fucking. That's the reason why he's considered a mad scientist. He's a fucking lunatic.
In fact, when he was done, he was horrified to see what he had made. He considered the creature to be a less meaningful creation than a ship or a building. He considered it to be worth less regard than a dog. Even now, while discussing the monster's life and struggles, I find it sad that I have to refer to him as the monster. It's an indignity, one so profound it drives the soul of the plot. The monster's namelessness represents everything he's struggling against. He's clearly capable of reason. He's able to read a work as complex as Paradise Lost.
He reads. He fucking reads. Therefore, he has a soul. He can talk. He can express feelings. And yet Victor thought he was like not worthy of having a name. He was not worth of giving an identity. He's not worth. Victor Frankenstein is a piece of shit. We shall all agree that Victor Frankenstein is a piece of shit.
Lost and apply it to his own life. He knows anger, sadness,
Oh.
guilt.
Hold on, I'm gonna share this to on Discord real quick as well. Oh wait, no. This is not what I. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm dumb. I shared the wrong thing. I shared the wrong thing. And I'll share it later.
Envy. In every way that matters, he can already think and feel like a man. But without a name, he can only be understood as a creature. Namelessness can be dehumanizing. It lets us know that a character isn't worthy of the significance you would give another person. And we don't just see this with Frankenstein's monster. In the third installment of the game, The Witcher, unborn children...
Oh no! Don't bring this back. Don't bring this up, man. That one's depressing. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! What happened? Hold on. Hold on. Let me check if the stream is going well. Yeah, it's working. It's working. It's just that my TV has very, very low connection for some reason. Anyways, please, man, don't bring this up. It's I fucking played this part in The Witcher, and it's, man, the Baron story is so sad.
buried without being named become monsters called botchlings. In the musical adaptation of Les Miserables, the police inspector Javert often
I haven't watched this. I haven't watched Les Miserables.
refuses to refer to Jean Valjean by his real name, instead calling him by his former inmate number 24601. Jacques
Oh, 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 oh.
Hagar from Game of Thrones is a faceless man,
That's such a good character, man.
or a shape-shifting
He's such a good character.
assassin. The faceless men are trained to become no one, giving up their own identities so they can take on a variety of others. Naming something is
Well,
a fundamental...
I don't think it's fair to call him a he because we do not know their real identity. Again, they are faceless. They are no name. They have no name. They have no identity. They gave that up to become something more, pretty much. We do not know if they're a man or a woman at to that extent. So I don't think it's fair to call them he. Yeah.
mentally intimate act. It signals that the thing being named is worth regarding. To deprive someone of their name, or to neglect to give them one at all, is to signal that they're not a person worth referring to signal that they're less than a person, less than a pet, less even than a sentimental object. In effect, a character without a name isn't a person at all. And I think the authors might be trying to tell us this.
Damn, don't give me ideas. Do not give me ideas, bro. Do not give me ideas to write a story about this.
Initially, it seems a little strange that
There we
Dark
go with
Souls
the Dark
lets you put
Souls.
so much effort into character creation. Like, it's really strange when you think about it. When you start the game, your character immediately looks like this. They're what the game calls hollow, a sort of zombified form, devoid...
I mean, you're not hollow. Like, you're still undead, but alive, pretty much. But you're not hollow yet. You basically don't turn hollow in the game.
void of humanity. It more or less renders all the time you spent lovingly designing your character completely worthless.
Don't you dare go hollow.
Even once you manage to reverse the hollowing, you get maybe half an hour of gameplay before you get your hands on your first helmet, and from that point on, you probably won't see your character's features ever again. If that...
Your first helmet is a pig helmet. And it's such a good fucking helmet. I fucking love that helmet. I think I'll keep it on my character. Right, I need to do the Dark Souls stream. I'm stupid.
aren't enough to make character creation feel totally...
I'll play Dark Souls. Don't worry, guys. I'm just like taking a break from Souls likes. Which is gonna come to an end when I start playing Blasphemous on stream.
useless. None of the characters in the game even call you by your name. In most games with character creators, you at least get to do some role playing. You'll get pointed morality deciding
Same thing happens on Elden Ring. They call you tarnished. They do not call you by your name.
questions. Maybe you want to be lawful good or chaotic evil, that kind of thing. Not in Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, nobody's as concerned with who you are so much as they are with what you are. This is all part of the point, though. Your character, the Chosen Undead, isn't really meant to be a character at all. They're more of a stand-in, a vessel, if we want to stick with Dark Souls language.
Yeah.
You don't know
They are supposed to represent the player.
at the start, but there are actually a lot of moral choices to make throughout the game. You can kill just about any NPC, which sort of means that leaving them alive is a choice. One that has ripple.
I'm gonna get rid of this fucker when I can, whenever I can. I will not let him kill the freaking how do you call her? The maiden.
Effects throughout the entire world. You can deliver characters
Yeah, the fire maiden.
crucial items that are necessary.
No, the firekeeper. Yeah, firekeeper. It's the firekeeper.
For their survival, or you can use them up for your own selfish benefit. At the end of the game, you ultimately choose whether to destroy the world, a choice that the game has been implicitly preparing you for the entire time. If the Chosen Undead was a discrete character, these choices might feel a bit less like choices. There would always be a pressure on the player to do what the character would do, to ignore their first instinct and attempt to perform the role of the character properly. Instead,
But you are the character. That's the beauty of it. You get to choose whatever the fuck you want without worrying what the character may or may not do. Because it's not the game's character, it's your character. You created him, you gave him a name, you're basically in that character.
by making the Chosen Dead a nameless, personalizable stand-in,
Although I always go with the good end. I'll probably just go with the good ending. I mostly always choose the good ending. My very first ending was Rani's ending in Elden Ring. My second ending that I finished was Fia's. My third ending now is gonna be the Frenzied Flame because I wanna do the Frenzied Flame quest line. But first I'm gonna have to finish the DLC. So yeah, wish me luck on that.
you can approach the world of Dark Souls with your own moral worldview. This is not exactly a novel approach to character. Video games do this a lot. It's sort of a way to bypass the
Yeah, games have always done this ever since the ever since forever. Oh, you can play a Nintendo Final Fantasy game, one of the first ones for the Famicom, and that's what you'll do. That's basically what you'll do. Like the very first few Final Fantasies have done it. Dragon Quest has done it. Um, it's not new. It's not new. The Legend of Zelda has done it.
character and put yourself.
Although you do not although the Legend of Zelda is not really an RPG, it's more like an adventure game. You catch my drift. It's more puzzle focused. If you understand.
Off into the world. The Courier in Fallout New Vegas is also a player stand-in that serves as a vessel for that story's choices. In
Oh, by the way, talking about Bethesda, I was playing the remake for Oblivion. I have never played Oblivion before, but it's pretty. Wait, no, yeah, I have played Oblivion before. I'm stupid. I've played on the PS4 with PlayStation Plus. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but I don't know what's with Bethesda's games, but I just don't get that hooked. I kind of got hooked with Skyrim, but then left it. Again, Bethesda's games are not really that. In my, I mean, I want to play New Vegas. New Vegas is pretty good. Like I actually got invested in the story there, but Aside from that, yeah.
Undertale, name is incredibly complex, but I'll try to boil it down by saying
Freeze.
what you name the player character not only impacts the way they respond to situations, but also impacts who they turn out to be. In The Elder Scrolls III Morrowind, you are said to be the chosen one on a predestined path, but you really take some liberties with that in the game.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you define every single thing about the character and essentially dictate the nature of the prophecy yourself. In all of these cases, the point is to allow the player to express themselves. After all, if the character you're controlling has no name, that means there's space for you to put your own.
Yeah, that's basically works for video games very well. Very, very extremely well it works. But there are some cases where it doesn't. So yeah, it's up to you to it's up to preference.
The main character of Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian barely even qualifies as a main character at all. He's known simply as the Kid, and then later, the Man. Throughout huge portions of the book, he's sort of just
I have never read Blood Meridian. I don't know. I don't know what it's about.
disappears into the background of the narrative. As he joins a gang of outlaws and descends into a life of violence and bloodshed, pages upon
I am interested. Cowboys, hell yeah! Let me. I'm gonna read that book like a fucking. But first, I gotta finish some other books first. But damn, our cowboys are fucking cool. They're so cool. They're so cool, cool, cool. I love cowboys. Cowboys are amazing. One of my favorite games is Red Dead Redemption 2. One of my favorite movies is Django. Come on, they're cowboys. Um, Wild West stuff. Give it to me. I'll take it. I'll fucking gobble that shit up.
pages pass without so much as a mention of him. There's a lot of they did this and we did that. Very rarely is
Oh,
his
that's probably why I like New Vegas a lot more, because it's basically the Wild West on a post post apocalyptic world. Yeah, that's probably why I like New Vegas better than the other games.
individuality from the gang asserted in the text. Even by the story's end, we learn vanishingly few details about him at all. His name is never among them. This isn't because the kid is literally absent from the narrative. It's because the kid isn't important. He's only there to act as a vessel, a window into Blood Meridian's bloody, merciless world. His namelessness is a key signal from the author to the audience. This is not a person, McCarthy seems to be saying. Don't mistake him for one. The circumstances
Okay.
that lead the kid
Okay.
into the outlaw life aren't
But why is he not a person though?
a matter of personal character or background. If he had a name or detailed history, the implication would be that his personhood mattered, that whoever he was in the past determined who he became. The truth, as in any McCarthy novel, is far more brutal. He could have been any kid who happened to show up in the wrong place at the wrong time, born in the wrong generation. He stands in for any young man driven to violence by sheer force of ennui and instinct. All the naive kids who, over the ages, have felt compelled to war. You see it? How choosing not to turn a character into a person affects the story? Characters like the kid can,
Damn.
in a way, become something bigger. Instead of just the people that they are, the readers confront them through the roles that they play. They represent ideas, archetypes, concepts. The unnamed narrator in Fight Club is a disaffected, neurotic office worker with no hope for the future. He represents every disaffected, neurotic office worker with no hope for the future. All the jurors in the movie 12 Angry Men are named only by their juror number. They're meant to be common archetypes of everyday American citizens so that the American audience can see themselves in their situation.
I am not American. I mean, I kind of am, but I am. I. It's hard to explain how Puerto Rico was colonized by the U.S. I basically have American citizenship, but Again, I'm Latino American. Yeah.
The G-Man from Half-Life is a dispassionate bureaucrat with powers beyond our understanding. Nameless, without identity, he literally becomes the ultimate government man, perhaps the most Kafkaesque of all cosmic horrors. There's another character in Blood Meridian who actually plays a fairly similar role. You may have heard of him. He's pretty infamous. I am talking, of course, about the Judge. He's the
No. No. No, 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 no. I've only heard horrifying shit of this character. I've heard horrifying shit about this character. I didn't know this character was from Blood Meridian. Man, this guy is despicable. He's horrifying.
driving force behind the violence of the book.
I am not gonna fucking say the shit he's done that I've read, but let's just say he's not good. He's full blown evil, probably alongside Femto from Berserk and I believe far worse than I wouldn't say he's worse than Griffith. I think he's just as evil as Griffith, from what I understand.
Book is symbolic in the extreme, manifest destiny personified. Like the kid, his origins are also left unexplained. But, unlike the kid, the Judge has a clearly articulated worldview, a defined personality, and, of course, a name. Judge Holden. Compared to the Judge, although they are highly symbolic characters, the kid is an empty vessel, not unlike the chosen undead. You start to see why you might not give a character a name. Nameless, a character lends itself to symbolism. Nameless, a character stops being a person and becomes a device. Turns out, when you don't have anything to call a character, you're forced to call them what they are.
A device.
Aaron Sorkin once said, the property
That yeah, nameless again. Like I said, some nameless characters can be used as horror characters. Yeah, I think I already explained it. I don't want to explain myself anymore.
of
I don't want to explain the same thing that I already explained over and over again.
people and the properties of characters have almost nothing to do with each other. People don't speak in dialogue, their lives don't unfold in a series of scenes that form a narrative arc. The rules of drama are very different from the properties of life. And, to add to that, people generally have names. But characters don't always need to, because, as Sorkin says, they're not just theoretical people. They can be a lot more than that. The idea of namelessness seems cruel in theory. How many Frankenstein's monsters do we want to create? But I think that story demonstrates how important names and identity are to people, how much you need them. Fictional characters aren't like that. They have no preference until you write one for them. For them, namelessness can be a blessing. Like the chosen undead, they can become vessels, subject to countless worldviews.
The Chosen Undead is such a good character.
Countless perspectives. Like the kid, they can become symbols or archetypes, representative of something so much bigger, an ideal or a position in the world. It can be fun to think of fictional characters as real people. It's an interesting challenge to try to make them believable. But you can never really know them that way. They're written, contrived, created. They are literary devices, not dynamic, self-defining human beings. As compelling as a fleshed-out character can be, I think it's also somewhat limiting to aspire to create that alone. Maybe instead of trying to make you understand who they are, these characters are here to help you know yourself.
That's so. That's pretty deep. But yeah, I kind of agree with that. Sometimes it can help you understand yourself. I get the point what he's trying to say. Man, these videos are so good.
Okay, so after talking a bit about Dark Souls and how hostile it is to its players, you kind of have to wonder why. What reason would someone have for creating such a rich, deliberately crafted world and then holding it just out of arm's reach on purpose? Turns out, Hidetaka Miyazaki had a very good reason for doing it. An entire philosophy, in fact. After doing a little research about it, we found his line of thinking so.
Without challenge, there's no point. I've seen one of the interviews. Read one of the interviews, and I understand what Hidetaka Miyazaki is trying to give in his own works. His philosophy in storytelling and gaming in general, which I kind of respect and I fucking love. Like, I will always respect Hidetaka Miyazaki for that, for the way he thinks, for the way he designs his games, for the way he designs the story. He tells the story he wants to tell, and the way that he wants the player to interact with his game. I will always respect Hidetaka Miyazaki for his works. Like, he's such a good game director.
Interesting that we made a whole micro documentary about it called The Frustration Artist, where we dive into who Miyazaki is and how his experiences guided this weird, hostile.
Oh, is this just promoting his other video? Let's fucking go. We're watching that later. Not today because it's almost 12 and I want to watch something shorter.
Vision. It's part of our 6-episode series Worldsmiths, where we talk about some of our favorite authors and the inspirations behind their work. You can watch all of it over on our streaming platform, Nebula. We actually have a lot of stuff on Nebula.
Oh,
Videos
on
that aren't
Nebula?
on YouTube anymore, exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else, even next week's video is live over there right now, waiting for you to go watch it. And on Nebula, all of it is totally ad-free. We don't even put sponsors on those videos.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Oh, but it's a subscription. I have to pay for it.
I know this probably isn't the first time you're hearing about Nebula. We are probably just one of like a dozen different creators you know who talk about it all the time. But that's because it deserves to be talked about. It's a platform made by creators for creators.
I have never heard of Nebula before. It does remind me of that one time a Spanish creator, I'm not saying names, tried to do his own platform. It sucked and it was almost a scam, sort of, not really. But at the same time, he used it to vent his own frustrations in it. I'm not saying who it is. Those Spanish speaking people, they may know who I'm talking about, but I'm not saying names. But yeah, shit went down. I respected that creator, but he kind of bunch of did a bunch of stuff later, and I'm just like, I don't fucking care anymore. I stopped watching his content. I stopped watching his shit. Again, I'm not saying names because he is very vindictive, and he will strike anybody who talks about him. It's horrible. It's very fucking horrible. Anyways,
Creators. Worldsmiths is just one of like
is
countless.
this just an ad? Yeah, I think we already finished the video. Anyways, that was and that was Tell Foundry's The Myth of the Nameless Hero. Very good video. I actually set up. It actually made me talk a lot and express my opinions on different stuff. So very good, very good. It actually made me talk. The like a pretty good video. I liked it. I fucking love Tale Foundry's videos. If I have to delete it, if anything happens, I'll do it. But I will. I fucking love the video. I love the video. Pretty good. Anyways, let's watch something lighter. Let's watch something more light, more shorter. I already watched the Jaden animations video off stream. It's pretty funny. Go watch it. This is D&D animated. This is from the Thorough fan battle. Making a D&D villain, Brock, the Hill Giant King. Oh, that looks fucking sick. I'll probably watch this later. Let's add it to watch later. So you want to slay a dragon? Puppeteer no more. Angel Punk, the unknown genre that dominated 90s anime. Final Fantasy is not a fucking anime. It's a video game. You dimwit. But this is interesting.
The 90s.
Okay.
Girls wearing low-rise
Oh my god. Mommy. I mean, I fucking love her. What was her name again? Faye. Faye Valentine. I fucking love Faye Valentine. I love Faye Valentine. I fucking love her. She's one of my favorite characters in anime. I love Cowboy Bebop so much. I think I'm gonna rewatch it. I fucking love Faye Valentine. I love Faye Valentine. She's an amazing character.
shiny pants with crop tops.
Okay, this is the unknown genre that dominated the 90s anime by Renaissance manga.
Y2K glasses. Dave Matthews committing egregious musical sins. Megumi Hayashibata's vocal performances featured in literally every other anime. In the land of the sun's
I've never watched Slayers. Who wants to Slayers anime? Please don't let it be Toei. Please don't let it be Toei. Fuck, it's worse. It's Kadokawa. I mean, Kadokawa is pretty good animation studio, but I cannot react to the series on stream. So
origin, strange developments were taking place in the world of science fiction. Having steeped for the past 3 decades in the best that the West had to offer insofar as the genre goes, Japan was positively brimming with creativity and boundary-pushing ideas. Ghost in the Shell, Metal Gear Solid,
Ghost in the Shell is such a good movie as well. Like, it's such a good anime movie. It's so good. I watched it in English though, which is kind of sad. You know what? It's pretty funny because my art teacher, one of my art teachers for at the university, um she likes Ghost in the Shell. She liked it. She will she mentioned Ghost in the Shell and how that might help and stuff. And stuff. How it's so very philosophical about human condition and that stuff. Like I didn't I like she was one of the younger teachers we had at the university, so I kind of get the fact that she actually did watch it. She also kind of, I think she also plays D&D, and she, no, I don't, does she? I don't know. But she's also she's very also very knowledgeable about Norse mythology. She basically was the one who told me to buy the Norse mythology book from Neil Gaiman, and also pretty good recommendation. Possibly one of the worst times she could have recommended it to me, because like a year or so later, it came out that Neil Gaiman is probably one of the worst pieces of shit ever. But yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that entire thing. But yeah, it's a pretty good book that made me that helped me make my project for the class. So I have to say, pretty good teacher, pretty pretty good professor.
Aiketsu Joki Tantedan. Taking the best of both East and West, throwing in a dash of cool Japan and the unabashed, ascendant golden age of otaku culture, the atmosphere was primed for a plethora of creative innovations by way of cultural clash. And indeed, nowhere did worlds collide, crumble, and fuse more than in the realm of late 90s sci-fi anime. Hello, I'm Nicholas, and this is Renaissance Manga. If deep dives into anime and manga are your thing, feel free to subscribe. I've got more essays coming down the pipe for all you manga heads out there. Today, we will be taking a deep, headfirst dive into three behemoths of anime culture: Trigun, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and
Final Fantasy is not an anime. We're not talking about the movies. We're talking about the games.
Fantasy VII. And before you say anything, Cloud spends a good majority of the game being pined after by two beauties. One is saint-like, fiercely loyal.
Aerith is my top. She's my favorite. I love her personality. I think I like her more than Tifa. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Don't hate me for it, but Aerith is better. She's better. She's better. I love Aerith. I love her personality. I love everything about her.
Airhead, the other a spunky, buxom Osanajimi who loves him unconditionally, and all the while Cloud looks on in blissful, main character syndrome fueled ignorance. So, yes, Final Fantasy VII is anime. But I digress.
It's a game. It's a game.
In my enjoyment, experience of, and immersion in the great Japanese medium, I have made many connections, drawn many a conclusion, and yes, speculated. Who among us hasn't? In these workouts
We all have.
of my media literacy
We all have speculated. We all have theorized. We all have done that.
muscles, every so often an idea comes to mind. A thread is discovered that haunts my waking dreams. This is one of those threads. When watching anime, particularly the more speculative ones the medium has to offer, we might find ourselves asking deep, important philosophical questions. Questions such as, can we ever truly know ourselves? Or perhaps, is the cost of peace worth the price paid in blood? So when, after indulging
Itachi's story is not that deep. I'm sorry. As a Naruto fan, his story is not that deep. Mm. He's a cool character. He's not my favorite though.
in a nostalgia binge of the Japanese anime of my youth, I sat staring at the screen, having just finished Neon Genesis Evangelion for the umpteenth time.
Man, how many times are you gonna rewatch Neon Genesis Evangelion? Holy crap, bro.
Profound question did strike. Man, what's the deal with all the angels in 90s anime? Well, I found an answer to this question, and it just so happens to involve Japanese economics, cyberpunk transhumanism, and Gnostic Christian mythos. If that
The last part I understand. The second part, not that much. What? Hold on.
Well, I found an answer to this question, and it just so happens to involve Japanese
Huh?
economics, cyberpunk transhumanism,
Huh?
and Gnostic Christian
And yeah, I understand the Gnostic Christian myths. I do not understand the other stuff.
mythos. If that sounds interesting, which I promise it will be, then come on this journey as we explore this niche anime subgenre I have dubbed Angel Punk. To begin, we must first take a brief snapshot of the decade that preceded our vaunted 90s.
The 80s.
Otaku culture in Japan had nowhere near reached the hyper-popular, algorithmically driven fever pitch that contemporary anime fandom experiences today. Looking back over the breadth of 40 years, indeed, anime culture was practically underground. We can imagine a prototypical Japanese otaku of the time. Perhaps a young man, bespectacled, afraid to talk to girls, clothed in baggy denim and flannel. He spends the extra cash he earns at his baito on anime, laserdiscs, and only the best audio-visual technology that Sony Electronics had to offer. This young man would be
Hmm.
positively obsessed with the finer vintages of animation, genre film, and cutting-edge technology. And the people
Okay.
serving him such vintages, that is, the creators themselves, would have been equally obsessed. I mean, it wasn't uncommon for studios to staff their productions with dedicated mechanical animation directors, for crying out loud. If I were a betting man, which you can rest assured I'm not, I would wager that this nerdy Japanese youth's drink of choice, as it were, would have been science fiction. Yes, if you look at the popular anime of the time, sci-fi dominated.
Oh my god, sci-fi dominated the Japanese market so hard. I can't. It kind of still does, but not as much as before. Like before, the mechas and cyberpunk were everywhere in anime media. But fantasy and medieval fantasy in general was not that prevalent until a bunch of stuff like Berserk, Helsing. No, Helsing doesn't count. Berserk. We have Claymore, but those are more recent. Well, Berserk was in the 80s, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Um, but fantasy took went more harder on Japan when isekai came out, when anime came out. Shonen as well, but medieval fantasy is more popular now because of isekai, and I fucking hate isekais. I mean, not that. I'm not saying isekais are bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just like the majority of isekai is not to my liking. I like Overlord. I like. Well, I haven't watched it, but I like the concept of Overlord. I watched the first two episodes. They're pretty good. But if I had to pick an isekai to watch over and over again, it will be Konosuba. I do not like ReZero. I do not care for Shield Hero. I don't really. I think I want to watch Slime. The Slime one, but I might probably do that some other time. But if you guys want, I can react to the Slime anime Isekai on stream. It's just not gonna. I'm not gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I mean, I'll probably like it, but it's again isekai are not my cup of tea. Even more so when the goblins are look the way they do in the slime anime. Like, come on, make them look fucking. Like, if you want them to look cute, do not make them fucking tall. They're goblins, for God's sake. Like, if you want a cute goblin, do not make them tall. Please. Please, don't make them tall. They're goblins, they're not orcs.
Mobile Suit Gundam, The Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Super Dimension Fortress Macross, I Oboite ka. And it only
Should I watch Macross? It looks so good. I like the concept of Macross. I want to watch the Galactic Hero anime as well. Hell, I want to watch Gundam. I want to watch a Gundam. They have the Gundam movies. The first three movies, I guess, on Netflix. I think I'll watch it. I don't know.
It makes sense, considering the quantity and quality of the genre Japan and the world had been exposed to up until then. There is no doubt in my mind that countless young Japanese youths waited with as much bated breath as my father did for the premiere of Return of the Jedi. In the 80s,
Oh yeah, sci-fi was so big on Japan. Also, by the way, I'll be right back. I need to get myself some water and I need to go use the bathroom. So I'll be right back, people. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right. Let's watch this.
80s, sci-fi was booming, and Japan was no exception. In this climate was born the best known of all the punk genres, cyberpunk. A beautiful, made-in-heaven match of high-concept science fiction and gritty, real-world lower-class struggle. The cyberpunk genre painted a picture of the future as bleak then as it is almost
It started with Blade Runner, right? Uh, did uh first cyberpunk story? Wait, what? Wait. William Gibson. Wait. Neuromancer. That's the first. Is Neuromancer the first cyberpunk book? What? Then who started it? Eh.
laughably naive to our now jaundiced 2025 eyes. This fusion of cyber and punk invites a juxtaposition between the poor underbelly of society and high technology, enhancing the hyperreal feeling of class stratification. Staples of the genre include William Gibson's Neuromancer,
Yeah.
Akira,
Akira. And of course Blade Runner.
and Kokaku Kidota.
You're not mentioning Blade Runner?
And perhaps the most well-known aesthetic language associated with cyberpunk is cybernetic implants, the combination of machine and man. Now, while cyberpunk certainly cannot claim a monopoly on the concept, nor first-mover advantage, it did much to further the feeling of realism and ground the audience in what actually being part human, part machine would really be like. One can draw direct lineage in the brutal scars of Vash's medical implants, or the disturbing experiments of Hojo from this.
Should I read Trigon? I mean, that's obvious. That's an obvious jest, but you know what? We are gonna read Trigon on stream. We are reading Trigon on stream, and we are gonna enjoy it.
Genre convention. For lack of a more elegant explanation, I think the main innovation and draw of cyberpunk was that it truly makes you feel, hey, I could be part robot, and then forces you to explore every implication of what such a reality would mean. It is in this environment of sci-fi mega-hit barrages launched directly from Hollywood, of Bubble Jedi-fueled extravagant anime masterpieces,
This is cyberpunk.
and otaku micro-targeted OVAs dripping with mechanical sakuga, that I believe Angel Punk was born.
Drawing mechanical stuff is so hard, and I can say that by experience. I am not good at drawing robots nor such. I mean, I can try practice it, and I will. But damn, it's hard.
But it was not born soundly into this good world, and if it had been, well, I doubt we would recognize it. The advent of the 90s saw major economic downturn in the land of the rising sun, the bubble Jedi having quite spectacularly burst, and the specter of declining fertility on the horizon. Japan would enter a period of cultural malaise known as the Lost Decade. A far cry from the giddy opulence
Okay. Also, I haven't seen this one. What's this one?
of the 80s. This decade that stood at the cutting edge of the internet age had a decidedly more indie handheld vibe. Punk, even. Indeed, we often forget that many of the cyberpunk classics we adore to this day came not from the heyday of the 80s, but from the early 90s denouement that followed. And from this denouement emerged a manga that would eventually become a titan of the entire medium. Trigun's humble
Yeah, Trigon. I knew he was gonna talk about Trigon. I mean, it's in the freaking thumbnail.
beginnings started in 1995, publishing in mid-level manga magazine Monthly Shonen Captain, before switching to more popular Young King Hours after a soft reboot as Trigun
This art style is so good.
Maximum. Later, the series would gain international acclaim after a surge in popularity following its 1998 anime adaptation. The plot of Trigun follows Vash the Stampede, a mysterious gun-wielding pacifist who wanders a desert world. In classic 90s anime fashion, he is forced to combat a succession of increasingly deadly foes.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's go back a little bit.
A succession of
What the fuck is up with this? His head is small. Their heads are. I mean, this one looks more natural. This one looks cool. This one looks normal. This one looks normal. This one looks normal. This one looks cool. What the hell are up with these proportions? What's up with these proportions? What the hell happened to him?
increasingly deadly foes, all orchestrated by his nefarious brother Knives. There is much to be said about this space western masterpiece, but today, let us hone in on the more esoteric aspects of Trigun's world. In terms of backstory, Trigun's origins are downright biblical. Due to the Luciferian betrayal of Knives, Vash sees his idyllic
Oh. Oh, that's who Knives is based off on. That's fucked up.
world upon the Seed's colony ship destroyed, as humanity is wrenched from the heavens and brought crashing down to a hostile wasteland. A veritable paradise lost. And the imagery. Trigun, more than any of the other works we will discuss today, has more Christian imagery than St. Peter's Basilica. Okay, perhaps that's an overstatement.
Yes,
But
that's
it's
an
literally
overstatement.
littered with them. Crosses dot the desert landscape. Power generators that appear to be angels. Wolfwood is a freaking priest. But what does this abundant Christian imagery mean? To figure that out, we must first dip our toes into the ancient world of Gnosticism. Gnosticism is a term used to describe a group of early Christian sects whose heyday lasted primarily in the 2nd century AD. It describes a set of common beliefs and mystic philosophies. These beliefs
Most of it's not canon, by the way. Just saying. Just so nobody gets confused. Most of the Gnostic stuff has been claimed as heretical by the church. So yeah.
are complex and difficult to grasp, deliberately so as you will see, but I shall endeavor to illuminate them. Now, I hear you falling asleep over there. This will be interesting, I promise. The Gnostic worldview hinged upon the concept of the demiurge. Demiurgos for you.
Yeah, this is heretical by the church standards. Like they see this and they're like, this is heretic. Yeah, you don't get confused. Do not think this is like part of the religion of Catholicism or um a Lutheranism or other Christian stuff. They are not. They're considered heretical. Especially the demiurge is considered heretical by the Catholic Church and by any other religion in Christianity. Yeah.
Greek heads out there. A false
It is still interesting though. I know about the demiurge and the story behind it. It's pretty interesting though. Very interesting. Although I do not believe it, it's yeah, I still think it's pretty interesting.
Sinister god who holds reign over the material world. Sound familiar? This god is presented in contrast with the higher, true god of the spiritual or metaphysical world, Sophia. One of the central themes of Gnostic texts is
No. No. It's not. Oh god.
the revelation of hidden knowledge in order to perceive the true, corrupt nature of the physical world and the false promise of the demiurge. This enlightenment would allow one to realize their own innate God spark and the truth of the higher metaphysical plane. Now back to anime.
Back to
No,
anime.
but seriously, think for a moment. In Trigun, Vash is literally a godly, Christ-like figure. He is both kin to humans and beyond them. Figuratively,
Wait, what? Hold on. Is Bash based on this? What the hell? Are you serious? Okay, I'll be right back. I'll be right back real quick. I need to do something. All right, guys, I'm back. I need to watch Trigon. I need to finish watching the new one because I haven't actually finished it. I started watching it, but I haven't finished it. But I have to pay for my Crunchyroll account. Uh,
He has already reached enlightenment and thus fits well within the concept of the Savior, aka Jesus Christ. Now contrast this with Knives, who sees himself above humans and even convinces some to war with Vash against their own self-interest. Considering Knives' ultimate goal of outright genocide, he fits well within the concept of the demiurgic false god. Knives who, along with Vash, sprang from the self-same well of metaphysical power into our world. Interestingly, there is another Gnostic concept in this wacky space western that truly brings our angel punk genre together.
the
In
Archons.
Gnostic cosmology, Archons are angel-esque beings who preside over the material world and are bidden to the demiurge. Think of them as cosmic level administrators, middle managers even. Can you see where
Oh, because I just remembered Genshin Impact. Venti's what's Venti's real name? I forgot. Venti's real name. Barabatos. Yeah, yeah, the archons in Genshin Impact are basically based on those same archons. Yeah.
I'm going with this? Yes, the plants of Trigun's world. In the story, they are explicitly described as a quote, black box, an unknowable piece of technology so advanced they literally transcend the material world, producing miracles of both creation and destruction. Vash and Knives, who are kin to the plants, hold hidden innate knowledge of their workings, and are able to both quell their fury and awaken their destructive potential. Now, here is where
The art's so good.
Trigun differs from Gnostic ontology. The Archons of Trigun's world are not presented as necessarily malignant, but rather neutral beings who exist beyond mere appellations of good or evil. But you know what does adhere quite fittingly to the Gnostic worldview? Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna bring out Neon Genesis Evangelion. I mean, it's obvious. The aliens are called angels. Um, Adam, Eve, and Lilith. Well, there's no Eve in Evangelion. It's just Adam and Lilith. It's. I knew he was gonna bring that up. I knew he was gonna bring this up.
Yes, Ava's own Archons are certainly not as benign
Oh,
as
oh,
Trigun.
Eve, Evas. Yeah, yeah. Never mind. Yes. Forget what I said about Eve.
For
That
the
not being in
uninitiated,
the.
Neon
Forget what I said about Eve not being in the Evangelion anime. She pretty much is. It's basically the Evas themselves. Yeah. Never mind. Just forget what I said.
Genesis Evangelion follows troubled 14-year-old Shinji as he pilots a giant robot.
Good character. Stop judging him. He's just what a normal 14-year-old with depression who's being forced to drive what is essentially his mother. Yeah, it's fucked up. Do not judge him. He's being forced to literally ride a fucking mechanical being that is holds his mother's soul in it. Uh yeah, I do not blame him for turning into a crybaby. He's more than justified to be a depressed kid. I just don't think uh that people really understand Shinji's character.
And fights
He's a very good
in
character.
post-apocalyptic Tokyo. The series is a beautiful amalgamation of Gundam, slice of life, monster of the week Godzilla, and yes, deep Christian mythos and
I want to say Gundam. I would say more like, oh, Monster of the Week and Depression.
symbolism. What I would like to do is hone in on the backdrop, the thematic underpinnings of Hideaki Anno's masterpiece. No, not that one. In the story, Gendo, Shinji's father,
Wait, Deaki. I don't know. Did he create anything before Evangelion? Gunbuster. Oh, this is interesting. Gunbuster. Yeah, I'm watching this 100%.
secretly executes his master plan behind the scenes, culminating in a climactic apocalypse in which all of humanity is transmogrified into a great primordial
They turned into Fanta. No, not this. Not this. They become Fanta. They turn into this. Come on. I had to say it. I had to make the joke. I had to make the joke.
soup. This can be read as a Gnostic monad, the one true God, and perhaps even implies the merging of the material and spiritual worlds. In any case, the themes of hidden knowledge allowing for the revelation of truth
It's also basically an interpretation on suicide. I shouldn't say that, but it's basically what it is. It's Hideaki Anno was fucking depressed, okay? He was depressed during the production of Evangelion. About the series and the movie. He's a very depressing person. He's a very sad person. I'm glad he actually got better in his mental state, and you can like see it on his remake. No, not remake, because they're still in the same universe. In the new Evangelion movies. I don't know what the actual title for them are, but the four Evangelion movies, you can see that he actually got better mentally, especially in the last one. Especially with Shin Kamen Rider. Holy crap, that was a good movie. But yeah, I'm glad that he got better. And he's actually doing stuff that he loves. And yeah. Man, Evangelion was fucking depressing.
about the sinister structures of the world are very much so present in the text, all couched in mystic Judeo-Christian symbology. Finally, let us move on to fantasy. Final Fantasy, that
Sephiroth, the one-winged angel, basically basically fantasy Satan, right?
is, 7 in particular. Now, admittedly, Final Fantasy VII has far less Christian symbolism than Trigun or Ape.
Until you get to Sephiroth. Sephiroth himself is basically an angel.
But it's still got an angel, one-winged though he may be. Final Fantasy VII follows Cloud and his ragtag gang of revolutionaries as they journey across
Ambientalists. True.
their dying world, fighting the evil Shinra Corporation and the half-alien
They're not the main bad guy though. It's Sephiroth.
in a desperate last-ditch attempt to heal the planet's lifestream and forfend Sephiroth's meteoric apocalypse. While Final Fantasy VII's narrative might not fit as well into the Gnostic paradigm I've painted, as well as the other works, there is still a thematic through line. The key is Sephiroth and Jenova. Jenova is a sinister alien life form that descended upon Final Fantasy VII's world in its ancient past, and promptly wiped out the ancient proto-human Cetra inhabitants with a deadly virus, leaving only a
Okay.
handful of survivors who were able
Thanks for the spoilers, by the way. I was gonna play the original Final Fantasy on the Switch. I mean, the Final Fantasy 7 on the Switch. Thanks for the spoilers.
Able to seal away the alien and prevent total apocalypse. Flash forward to the present day story of FF7
It's an old game. I'm sorry. I already know how it ends.
and the parasitic Shinra Corporation, and their greed and lust for power, unearthed the ancient alien, and, along with the mad scientist Hojo, birthed the uncontrollable Sephiroth and his clones, setting the planet on a path towards
Wait, what do you mean his clones? What do you mean his clones?
annihilation. In the climax of the story, Sephiroth attempts to become a god by merging with the spiritual energy of the world itself, ascending to his one-winged angel form. Yet another false god for our heroes to overcome and dethrone. But it is here that we get to the crux of my argument, the cruel thesis of this affair. In the first 8 or so minutes of this video, I painted a picture of Japan. But that picture was a narrative. Conventional wisdom
Hold on, be right back. I'm back. Anyways, let's finish this video.
a collective cultural understanding of recent Japanese history. I painted this picture to explain how and why Japanese culture developed certain broad zeitgeist vibes, namely 80s high-tech opulence into 90s malaise,
Okay.
and how niche, genre-obsessed otaku auteurs manifested those vibes into hyper-specific
Oh my god, the flashing lights.
mishmashes of various cultural and speculative fiction elements. In the case of Angel Punk, I saw a pairing of Christian angelic imagery and hard cyberpunk sci-fi, and a thematic through line of Gnostic mythos. Please, let me not mince words. The 3 works
That's pretty good.
I've analyzed today all feature highly advanced technology and downright profane pairings of man and machine.
I wouldn't classify Final Fantasy VII as cyberpunk though. It's literally just fantasy.
All 3 works, the angelic imagery is most prevalent in beings of vast, unknowable cosmic proportion, keeping in line with the Gnostic concept of archons. Yes, the heart of my angel punk genre lies in the theme of mankind through highly advanced technology and the fusing of mortal flesh with such technology, accessing a higher
Actually, there's an analog horror story made with AI, sadly, but actually not sadly because it actually enhances on the creepiness. And by AI, I mean like the imagery, not the story itself. And they actually use it well, from what I can see. I don't like using AI on works. It's stupid. I don't like it, but if it's done well, like Angel uh engine, is it what it's called? I will call this I actually will call this Angel Punk.
plane of existence and power beyond the scope of the mortal realm, yielding devastating, profane results. If only there were some real-world example, perhaps involving Japan, in which mankind, in their hubris, went too far with technology and led to tragic, apocalyptic outcomes.
World War II, anyone?
But in the case of Angel Punk, these apocalyptic results are rendered via the aesthetics of white-winged angelic imagery, immersed in the themes and lore of ancient Gnosticism, thus bridging the angel with the punk. Thanks for watching the second episode of Renaissance Manga. If you've made it this far, you're probably exactly the kind of person this channel is for. If it suits, hit like, subscribe, and leave
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I'm gonna subscribe to him and watch more of his videos later. But yeah, that's the last video I'm gonna react to today. I'm gonna do another stream this week. Reacting to videos. I'm gonna also play some Blasphemous, of course, and Crusader Kings. But firstly, we are gonna react to Nosferatu on Tuesday, was it? Or Thursday? I don't know. I forget how what it actually means on English. Actually, let's see. Let me see. What's this English? Hmm. Tuesday. Yeah, we're watching Nosferatu on Tuesday. I will see you guys on Tuesday, and not only that, we are also gonna be playing some Blasphemous. We're gonna be playing some Crusader Kings during the week. Yeah, we're gonna do all that. And anyways, I'll see you guys this week during the week. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Bye. See you guys later.